Okay guys, welcome to this week's Friday Waffle. Now I'm cheating a wee bit, I'm actually doing this on Thursday night because I'm busy tonight when you're watching this. So I thought I'd better get it done and get it out the road. Apologies about the real horrible image that you're looking at just now. Just sometimes I just can't be arsed setting up something a bit better, but you know what? These things are all about what I'm talking about and not what you can actually see, so hopefully you can forgive me with that. So yeah, it's Thursday, Friday's tomorrow. Looking forward to the weekend. Weather-wise, the weather's been shite. It's been shite, it really has. I mean, was it last weekend or the weekend before? We had some absolutely glorious weather, really, really nice. Hot. I mean, I actually got burned. My arms are kind of well tanned, and you know, I thought we were going to be getting a sort of good run of weather, but you know, it lasted until I don't know what Tuesday I think it was, and it's just been horrible. I mean, I was out running this morning, and it was wet, it was windy, it was cold. You know, it kind of felt like we're kind of back to winter again. You know, and that's. I've got to be honest, I love my country. I love living in the UK, I really do. I know lots of people complain about it, you know, and there's a lot of things that aren't right with the country, but by goodness the weather. I don't mind winter, you know, I don't mind winter weather, you know, but the thing that gets me is let's just stick to seasons. In the winter, it can be cold, it can be wet, it can be windy, it can be raining, we can have snow, but please, you know, excuse me, when it's summer, let's give us some decent weather. Anyway, I've not got a great deal to talk about tonight. I mean, I think there's a few questions. I've got the questions over here. Meister Kerfuffle, I've got to say, Lewis is doing an absolute cracking job of running it. Please, 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 go and take part. I mean, for God's sake, if you're watching this video, it's because you're into old video games. So, you know, go and take part in the kerfuffle, because, you know, Lewis is putting a lot of hard work into it. He's putting way more work than I ever did. I mean, he's got a kind of spreadsheet which you can tell where you're going to, you know, where you are each week. He also has a kind of running championship table, you know, which it all adds to the kind of the competitiveness of it. This week it's Gunsmoke, which is, I think it's a really underrated game. A lot of people don't really know about it. I mean, I'll be honest, I don't think I ever even knew anything about it until I stumbled across it on my arcade cabinet, and right away I recognised the sound effects. It was very Commando-esque, and I've got to say, I think I probably prefer Gunsmoke to Commando. It's an awesome game. So, you know, you like video games, so why don't you go and take have a shot. Look down below, you'll see the video. Every week Lewis uploads a video. He sends me the link and I upload it onto my channel, and I also put a link on my Meister Facebook page. So go and check it out and take part, because I think at the moment there's maybe only about, you're lucky if there's 10 people. Now, I know for a fact that there's a lot more than 10 people watch my channel, so you're quite clearly into video games, so go and take part. You know, I'm looking at all you guys. Ox, well, Colin Jones does take part. Ian Hunter, go and, Ian, best opportunity to take part in it. Yoldy Gamer Steve, he's taking part in it. I think Stephen Thornburg's taking part in it. There's loads of you guys not taking part, so go and check it out. It's really good fun. There's nothing better to make you want to play a video game than when you're kind of taking part against other people. And you know, it's a great way to kind of discover games, because when you've got too many games to play, you end up not playing any of them. And so when somebody gives you an opportunity to play a game like something like this, go and do it. You know, trust me. So that's that. What have I been doing with my week this week? Apart from working, I've been frantically busy, really busy. I've still been going out running. I'm really chuffed at how I'm getting on. Not so much that I'm getting better, but I'm chuffed with my determination, because I go out every second day and I run 4 miles, and I'm going out at 5 o'clock in the morning because I tend to wake up at that point. So what I do is I get up, go out for my run, come back into the shower, and then I go into back to bed for about an hour, which is really good. Excuse me. I'm just got a little refreshment. Oh, I'll tell you, you know what? I don't drink a lot of fizzy juice, but see this here, Coca-Cola. It is the absolute drink of the gods. See when you're really thirsty. I mean, Colin, you'll probably resonate with this. When you've been doing some physical exercise, whether you're out on your bike, whether you're out on a run or whatever, and you've been working hard, and you get home and you just want to sit down and you're thirsty, a drink of this stuff is just, oh, it's like amber nectar, seriously. It's better than water, it's better than anything else. I mean, I don't drink a lot of it, fortunately, but it just absolutely hits the spot. So, yeah, this week, what have I been doing? Apart from working, I've been going in a bit daft with PC stuff, but you know what? It's stuff that I need. Obviously, I got my VR. I got my, what else did I buy? I got my graphics card, and the graphics card has opened up my interest again in my PC, because now I can play games how they were intended to be played. You know, I mean, my graphics card that I had wasn't bad, but you know, I couldn't run them at maximum resolution, and now I can run these games at like 60 frames a second. So they look absolutely fantastic. But now, I can't remember if I actually answered this. Somebody, now, was it a question last week? I can't remember. Somebody was saying to me that they were hoping that I'm not going to sell myself short, or not sell myself short, but just sell myself and become a Call of Duty Fortnite video channel. And I think I said that will never ever 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 happen, because quite simply, I'm not interested in these games. My passion will always lie in, you know, classic video games, you know, 8, 16-bit. I mean, I don't talk about things like the Mega Drive or the Saturn all that much, excuse me. You know, my grounding, excuse me, I've got really bad wind. My main interest is the classic systems, you know, it's a whole nostalgia thing. But obviously I do still play these other systems, but I will never ever become, you know, a Call of Duty Fortnite channel. It's not going to happen. You're not going to see me doing reviews of PC games unless I play the game that I just think, wow, you know, I've got to share this. Then I will share it with people, because, you know, my heart when it comes to games is in old systems. So for a modern game to take my interest, it's got to be something really, really special. So why wouldn't I want to share it? Because trust me, if you're like me, you're into old games, then chances are, if I play a modern game that I think's awesome, chances are you're going to think it's awesome as well. So that's the only time I would ever, you know, really feature kind of modern stuff. If it was a game that I just thought you have to play, you absolutely have to play this. So on that score, there's no need to worry. You know, I'm always just going to be sticking to what I do. So yeah, getting back to this week, working. Anyway, I got one of my external hard drives. It's been coming up with errors over about the last year, and because it's a 2 terabyte drive, I was reluctant to like get rid of it, because I mean, you know, it's a 2 terabyte drive. So what I did was I formatted it, and then I put all my emulator stuff in it. But we're getting the VR and obviously downloading. I mean, what did I download? I downloaded Half-Life. That was 50 gig. I downloaded Project Cars. That was 20 gig. I downloaded the new Elite Dangerous. That was 20 gig. So it didn't take long, and suddenly all my hard drives are almost bursting to full. So I had an Amazon voucher that I got for Christmas, so I put that towards it. I bought myself a 10 terabyte drive. Now I was talking to Lacosa the other night there. 10 terabyte drive. How much space do you think I had after I formatted it? 9.1 terabytes. So in other words, formatting it, you're losing 0.9 of a terabyte. Almost a whole terabyte of space is lost. So they're selling it as a 10 terabyte. It's not, it's a 9 terabyte. So always bear that in mind, guys. You know, if you're going to buy an external hard disk or whatever, not even an external, if you're going to buy a hard drive and you know how much space you need, always make sure whatever drive you go for, remember you're going to lose about 10% of that. So if you're buying a 10 terabyte, you're going to get 9, you know, so always factor that in. I mean, I was just using it for extra space. So I've literally, in the last 3 or 4 days, all my computer has been doing is copying files from one drive to the other. I mean, my emulator folder, plus lots of other like magazines and retro programs, it was 1.6 terabyte of space, and it took 2 days. In fact, it took 2.5 days to move 1.6 terabytes of files. Obviously, I think there was almost 2 million files that I had to copy. And these drives, although are like USB 3, they're not particularly fast at copying small files. But because I was copying off this kind of faulty drive, it kept coming up with errors. So I would go to my bed, start it, I would get up in the morning and find that it had actually paused because it couldn't read a file. So that didn't help at all. But my PC's virtually been tied up just doing that. I've made a few videos. I think I've only put out one, which was the Beam Rider one. I put that out on, was it yesterday, I think it was. And I did do a collab video as well with somebody, which will probably be coming out maybe the tail end of next week. I have got another collab video which I did a couple of weeks ago, which I'm hoping to do, probably put out maybe Monday, Tuesday. I will be doing a live stream on Sunday night. As I keep saying, it was never going to be a regular thing, but I actually get quite excited about Sunday nights. Sunday nights are horrible because all you're thinking about is going back to work, or whatever. So to me, I love my live streams on a Sunday. The one last week went a bit Pete Tong because for whatever reason the comments that you guys were posting, they were taking about 10 minutes before they appeared on my screen. So I was asking you questions and I wasn't getting any answers, and then 10 minutes later I was getting answers to questions that I'd asked 10 minutes before. So I didn't really know. I was getting, people were saying, oh, we can't see the game. So I was correcting it, and then I was saying, oh, can you see it? And nobody was answering me, and I was getting quite frustrated. And I mean, I was close to just sort of saying, look, I'm going to have to kind of wrap the stream up. But I didn't, fortunately. And when I watched it back, it did actually play okay. But for some weird reason, the comments, there was a delay. I don't know what was going on. But Lacosa has helped me with, I use OBS software. And there's a setting where you can use either the processor to do the sort of most of the work, or else you can use your graphics card. Now, since I've got a nice sparkly new graphics card, we've set it to that. So hopefully, going forwards, my streams are not going to jerk. Although, to be fair, I think last week was the first time where we had problems with it not, it was getting quite jerky, but then I was playing games through the coin ops. So that was probably I was playing games which I wouldn't normally stream. I might give it a wee go just out of curiosity on Sunday, but Sunday is going to be a Konami special, an arcade Konami. One of my favourite, arcade companies, put out some awesome games. So yeah, that's going to be Sunday night, 7 o'clock. Excuse me, again, what I do, pardon me, I post it on Facebook as an event, so it'll come up and you can see what time it is. But I'm always going to go for, Sunday at 7 o'clock, as long as things go okay, there's nothing crops up. Obviously, real life can get in the way sometimes. I wouldn't normally bring it forwards. I have done in the past, but when I'm posting it on Facebook with a time, I will stick to that time. I'm never going to come on early. I may go on late just because, shit happens. So yeah, note for your diaries, Sunday 7 o'clock, Mainmeister live stream, Konami special. Just before I forget, I want to give a shout out to one of my mates, and you'll know him very well. He's a regular on my channel, and it's Panther UK. I mean, I've known Chris now for about, I don't know, 3-4 years possibly. He's been on watching my channel. He's been supporting my channel like all you guys for a long time. And just through sheer chance, when I was talking to Lacosa about that. I couldn't remember how we came about with the Sid shows, and Lacosa reminded me there was one. Was it a Friday Waffle or something? I was doing something, and I ended up just playing some Sid tunes, and it got Chris and I thinking, Lacosa and I thinking, why don't we do a Sid show? Why don't we just do a show dedicated to the Sid? And I think I must have mentioned to Panther, and he's like, oh, I'd love to take part in it, because he does a cracking job. He's got this, he puts out all these albums. He basically takes a standard Sid tune and he converts it into like stereo. Absolutely wicked stuff. Go to any of the Sid shows that we do, and there will be a link where you can download Chris's albums. I mean, I think I'm right in thinking that they're completely free as well. But anyway, getting back on track, Panther has now come up with his new channel. I can't remember what it's called actually. I think it's just called Panther. He put out his first video, I think it was yesterday, and it's a Sid track. I mean, really professional channel. I mean, the bugger's got some like 50 subscribers already, in just a matter of days. But what to do, guys, please, I'll put the link down below to Chris's channel. Go and check it out. If you like it, please subscribe to it. Give the guy some encouragement, because it always helps. So yeah, and as I've always said, guys, I mean, I'm conscious that, Chris comes on my channel, and, I am conscious that I would hate to think that anybody thought, oh, how come he does that? I don't think anybody does do that. But as I've said multiple times, if there is anybody that watches this channel, preferably somebody that I probably know quite well, not somebody that's maybe just watched once, but I know a few of you guys have kind of expressed an interest in coming on the channel. Let me know if you want to come on to a Mainmeister and Chums Talk Pish, if you want to join me in a Friday Waffle, if you want to join me in a live stream, just tell me, seriously, because it's my channel, but you know what, you're all my mates, and I want to get you guys involved, because the sort of most pleasure I get with doing this channel is the interaction. I mean, doing stuff like this is fine. I'm sitting talking to an iPad, for God's sake. I love the interaction. I love having somebody else to talk about, because it's a hobby that in real life, and I'm not saying that you guys are not my mates in real life, yous are, but in real life, in other words, seeing somebody face to face, there's really, apart from the guys that go to my computer club, and we only meet up once a month, although I've not met up for about 4 months, I don't have any people in real life that are into this hobby. So my YouTube channel is my way of getting to mix with like-minded people. So to be able to sit and talk to the likes of Lacosa or Panther or anybody else, and just talk about the most mundane things about what is the best shoot 'em up on the Commodore 64, and why was the Dragon 32 rubbish. It's such a geeky niche hobby, and having guys like yourselves that I can talk to, that just absolutely makes it for me. So like I says, guys, if anybody wants to take part in a live stream, in a video, whatever, even if you didn't want to appear on camera, I totally get that. I know there's not everybody's comfortable being on camera, especially live streams. I mean, live streams, even for me, it did take a wee bit of kind of guts to put yourself on camera, because at the end of the day, it's just you, and there's nobody else to talk to. So sometimes it can be a wee bit pressure. You don't want to think about it too much, because if you start thinking about what am I going to say next, then you could dry up. Fortunately, that's only happened to me, I think, once about 4 years ago. I just became very, very self-aware of being in front of a camera, and I think I made an excuse that I had to go, and I basically just disappeared for a couple of minutes, came back, composed myself, and I was absolutely fine. But it's not for everybody appearing live on a stream. But like I said, if you want to take part in one of my videos, please, please, please just put your comment down below. Let me know, the best way to contact. I'd rather kind of keep it off YouTube if I can, whether it's through email, whether it's through Messenger and Facebook, text message, whatever. Just let me know. But like I says, go and check out Panther UK's channel down below. And if you like it, please subscribe. If you don't like it, don't subscribe. And that's what I say about my channel as well. Yeah, I think that's kind of the only bit of news that I heard was my daughter actually told me PlayStation have delayed. I think they were going to be doing a reveal of the PlayStation 5. That's now been cancelled or postponed due to the COVID-19, and I'm glad to see that Sony kind of took the sensible approach. They basically said they didn't think there was anything to celebrate. We need to concentrate on what's important. So I think that's right. However, I do still think, despite everything that's going on in the world with the COVID-19, with that horrific murder in America, there's a lot of bad things going on. There is still lots and lots of awesome things going on. There really are. People are beautiful, there really are some of the kind gestures. And, I'm a strong believer that we should try and retain as much normality as we possibly can. You can't completely give in to all the negative stuff. So I'm not saying they should have gone ahead with the reveal. Possibly they should. I don't know. It's their choice. But I will be interested to see kind of what's what. So anyway, I've kind of prattled on long enough. So I'm just going to dive straight into the comments now. You know what? I'm going to have to. Please don't laugh. I'm going to look intelligent for a change, because I've got my little, there we go, look like a serial killer. These were £1.99 out of Asda. Right, anyway, Fred Blogs, I'll stop talking about VR now, keeps talking about VR. Now what Fred is saying there was basically I kept going on about VR last week, and I think I must have said I'm going to stop talking about it. And what did I do? I started talking about it again. Ian Hunter, a very entertaining hour, Alan. I'll fire in a question as soon as my prehistoric brain can think of a decent one. Cheers. No worries, Ian. I don't know if you did post a question or not. And yet, the man of the moment, Panther UK, cracking waffle, mate. I actually meant failure, as in the bloody thing broke. You're talking about a console that was a failure, yeah. And I think I picked one that didn't work because I couldn't get it to work with my TV. But the other answer was good anyway. I hope if you stream some VR, you play something that you'll shit your pants scary and have you in a little box like the live streams, so we can see you flap about the place. Well, you know what? I plan to do that. I'm a big feardy when it comes to scary games in VR, but like I says, I'm not going to be. I will touch on VR because it's. I'm a big fan of it, especially now that I've got this really good headset. I am a big fan of it. I don't mind admitting that, and I want to share it with you. So I will probably do some VR videos. I think that'll be good fun. Excuse me. Let me just touch that there. Right. Okay. For next time then. Are you going to try the VR arcade that you can walk up to machines and play cabinets so it looks like you're standing in front of one? Actually, Chris, I have, and I was actually installing it today. It is really good. Now, the only thing is, it used to be a free product, but now you've got to buy it. It's on Steam. It was $14.99. I bought it, and what I didn't realise was you've actually got to configure the thing yourself. So it comes with an arcade, but there are no games installed, there are no videos or anything. and I'm like, oh bloody hell, I'm just absolutely hopeless with things like that. But however, through the power of Google, I just typed in was it new retro arcade packs, and I managed to download a pack, and all I had to do was unzip it and drag the files across into the correct folder, and it now means that I've got about 50 arcade games. The only thing that I don't like about it is the games that this person has put together or picked. There's lots of beat 'em ups. I mean, there's some cracking games, but I would absolutely love it if somebody could put together a classic pack, with Galaxians, Space Invaders, Defender, Gorf, Commando, Gunsmoke, Asteroids, the real classic games. This one's got a few classic games. It's got 1942, it's got Street Fighter, but it's got loads of like King of Fighters and that, which I'm not really into, but I've got to say it's awesome. But the only thing is, and I don't know, perhaps Bangkok Ian, if you see this, Ian, can you make the movement where it jumps rather than smooth movement? Because that just absolutely puts me over the edge when you're pushing forward in the joystick and it's like sliding forwards. Oh, I just feel so sick. I tried it for about 2 minutes, and I thought I was going to fall over even though I was sitting down. I just couldn't handle it at all. But I've got to say, the actual the environment and how involved you are in it, the immersion, that's the word I was looking for, is incredible. It really is. So I think that'll probably be the first VR video that I'll put out. I'll do a little video for that. I mean, there is other people that have done the video, showcasing it, but I will do that. Don't remember what it's called, VR-cade or something. Yeah, it's called, I think it's called New Virtual Reality Arcade Neon or something. It's on Steam anyway, so definitely worth it. If you've got a VR headset and you're into retro games, go and check it out. William White, bring out a game on an SD card. You've essentially described the Switch. Yeah, I was asked a question last week about what would be my favourite medium, as far as a new machine, and I basically said it would have to be a cartridge, but cartridges are expensive, so I mean technically an SD card, I think I said that, you know what I mean, I did say that actually. So yeah, the Switch uses it, which is nice. You just plug it in and away you go. There's none of this updating it bollocks. Stephen Thornburg, another top drawer waffle, mate. Question for you: what was the first game you bought purely because of the eye candy, the graphics, and nothing to do with gameplay? First game, that would be difficult. I mean, there were a few games in the C64 that I would look at the what do you call it? I would look at the back of the box. Sometimes they would have like in-game graphics. Other times it would just be like taken from the arcade, and that was always a bit of a swizz, because when it had a picture of the arcade screenshots on the back, you almost guarantee the C64 one or the version you were buying was going to be shite. But actual based on graphics, I suppose it would probably have to be the Atari ST, and it would be Barbarian by Psygnosis. It's a game I've featured in some of my live streams. Graphically wise, it looks absolutely stunning. It's a beautiful hand-drawn graphics. Very kind of Nathanderal, back in sort of Stone Age man. Beautiful graphics. But the gameplay is as clunky as anything. They've taken a sort of an arcade platform type game where you kill baddies with swords and bow and arrows, and they've put the control using a mouse, which is just absolutely hopeless. But yeah, that was a game that I saw the box and I just thought, wow, that looks incredible. I did play it a lot, but I have to say I was disappointed, but it did look amazing. Anyway, thank you very much, Stephen, for your question. Next is Down the Rabbit Hole. Hi Alan, have you seen that ridiculous Game Gear Micro that Sega are releasing in Japan? What are your thoughts? Yeah, people were talking about, in fact, I think it might be yourself, that Sega was going to be coming out with some big new hardware reveal. And I think a few people were hoping it was going to be, a new not a Mega Drive, a new Sega Saturn, the next console. Because, I mean, the Sega Saturn was the last Sega console, and that kind of flopped, unfortunately. But no, what did they do? They brought out, I think is it 4 colours, and it's basically a Game Boy Micro, which is tiny. I don't know what size it is, that size, whatever, absolutely tiny. The screen is something like 1.5 inches tall. So for people like me who have to wear these things, forget it, absolutely forget it. And I think you get, is it 4 games on each one? Now, I really don't see what the target audience they're trying to get to. Anybody that's going to buy one of these could quite easily buy a GPD XD, a PS Vita, a PSP, and have 1,000 games in it on a big screen. I just think I will not be buying them, seriously, unless they're fantastic. I don't see me buying them at all. I don't know. I really don't know who they're appealing to. They're probably trying to appeal to the girlfriend looking for something for her boyfriend birthday or Christmas, because she remembered that he used to have a Game Gear or whatever it was back in the day. So she'll buy one of these, and put in his Christmas stocking or something. But yeah, I just think they're pointless. I mean, the target market is people, maybe my age down to maybe 40 years old. And chances are your eyesight, like mine's, you're getting short-sighted and you need to wear glasses to see things up close. So it's going to be lost with people like myself. So yeah, I think Sega have not done themselves any favours with that at all. Secondly, someone mentioned back in the old days we were fine with just screenshots, but nowadays, is that still just fine, or do you feel the need to see a game in motion, even if it is a homebrew made for an old console? I think, I think we would quite happily get away with screenshots, but obviously what we need to remember is back in the 80s, the internet was not a thing. The only time you would ever get to see a game in the flesh would be if your mate was bought it and you could see him playing it. Secondly, the shop would have it running in their window, or a bit later on you saw it in Games Master. So we didn't have that option. So it was always down to what do you call it? It was always down to screenshots or a review in Zap. That was kind of the Bible. But I think nowadays, you'd be off your head to go and buy a game, unless somebody's told you that it's awesome and you believe them. I think you'd be absolutely off your head to go and buy a game based on just a screenshot, because going to YouTube, you can absolutely guarantee somebody will be playing it. So yeah, I don't think people would accept it. I don't think people would buy a game based on a screenshot. Some people might do that, but I think you're being a bit daft. And finally, have you ever judged a game by its cover? Oh, I think so, Kevin. Yeah, I think we've all done that. You look at a cover. I mean, especially, I don't know if it's, you don't really get kind of covers. Well, you do. You get covers for PlayStation and Xbox, PlayStation games and that now. But you're going to look at the cover, and then you're going to flip round and look at the screenshots. But I mean, back in the 80s, you didn't have screenshots. It was maybe later on that they started putting screenshots. But it was usually, you would look at this fantastic scene of like a wizard killing evil monsters like Frankenstein or whatever, and there was bats and a dragon breathing fire, and you thought, wow, that looked amazing, that looks absolutely incredible. Then you get it home and it looks absolutely nothing like the screenshot. So there was a lot of kind of like cloak and daggers back then. I mean, when you think about some of the like the Ocean software, their covers were really nice. They had, I can't remember who did the artwork, but they did look really, really nice. and the sad reality was their games were bloody awful. So yeah, I think we all did that, Kevin. We'd all look at a screenshot or look at a cover and think that looks terrible. Whereas the reality is sometimes, I mean, it kind of had a flip side. Sometimes you'd buy a game that looked amazing, but the cover looked amazing, and the reality was some blocky, pixely crap. But then on the flip side, you would get some horrible looking cover, and the game was actually really good. So it kind of worked both ways, you know what I mean? But I think we all judge games based on cover. So anyway, Kev, thanks for your questions. Mr. Flanagan, thanks Alan, I enjoyed that. I'm relatively new to your channel, so I look forward to seeing the Friday Waffle, so keep up the good work, mate. Thanks very much, Craig. I really appreciate it. I think you come from, are you in Glasgow? I think you said it is. But absolutely delighted you're enjoying the channel. Excuse me a little second, just while you drinking my tea. Oh, it's coffee, and I thought it was tea there. Right, GTB Films. Question for next week's Waffle. I know you've mentioned playing Command & Conquer in the past, and I wondered if you'd taken a look at the remastered Command & Conquer just released by the original Westwood coders on Steam. It's fairly pricey, £18 for basically the same 25-year-old game with better graphics, but I purchased it and played an online game last night, and it immediately took me back to the LAN parties of the mid-90s. Do you think developers should remaster games from the past to run in modern hardware? There's a few examples where they will create a totally different game using an existing IP, which tend to be a bit hit or miss, but this is more like the exact game, just with modernised graphics and new multiplayer code for the modern internet. Do you think there's a market for remastered classic games? Funny you should say that, Alan, because Monkey Spaz, he posted a picture on Facebook of, I think it was Command & Conquer, and I asked him, I says, is this like a new game? And he says, yeah, it is. Absolutely. I mean, I'm a massive fan of HD makeovers, because a good game is a good game. You know, Space Invaders on the Atari 2600 is a good game. You know, for most people, there's no way they can play that game. I'm not saying they bring out Space Invaders on the Atari 2600 to run on the PC, but that's just a kind of example. So, you know, games like Command & Conquer, I mean, especially like old PC games, like DOS games, they're almost impossible. You try running a DOS game on Windows 10 and it's almost impossible. I mean, I know you've got, DOS box and that kind of stuff, but you need to kind of mess about to kind of get it working. You know, and there was a lot of games like Command & Conquer, Red Alert, Dune, was it Dune 2 I think it was? Some amazing games. So why don't they bring them out? I mean, they've done it with Doom. They brought out some remakes of Doom. I have got Doom on the PlayStation 4. Not a massive fan, I think I prefer the original. But you know, why would you not want to, a classic game that you miss, that you can't play, and you get the option? I mean, you're saying £18. What's £18? That's nothing. £18 is absolutely nothing. I mean, it was probably about 30 odd quid back then. So £18 now is less money, and it's going to look even nicer. So, I'm just conscious I have got 46 minutes before this SD card runs out, so I need to kind of crack on. But absolutely, Alan, a good game. If you missed a game from the 90s, you know, and you've got the opportunity to play it again on modern hardware, then I'm a massive fan of that. I think you'd be mental to disagree with that. Paul Cook, hi Alan, great waffle and thanks for the great content. Your mention of Radiant Silvergun, which is brilliant by the way, triggered a memory for me. About 15 years ago, I borrowed a prized copy of the game from a mate. While me and the missus were watching TV one night, a wardrobe gave way in the bedroom where my games were. When I went through to investigate, I saw that lots of stuff was smashed to smithereens, including the copy of Radiant Silvergun. I felt so awful, I bought him a new sealed copy to replace it at a cost of £300. We still laugh about it now and he still has it, and it remains unsurprisingly the most expensive game I've ever bought. My question to you is, therefore, what is the most expensive single game you've ever bought, and was it worth it in your view? Thanks again and keep up the good work. Thank you very, very much, Paul. I really appreciate your nice comments. Great question. The most expensive game I've ever bought. I mean, obviously I bought games for the SNES. I never went down the import route, so I never paid like 70 quid for that. I'm trying to think the most expensive game. I don't think there's ever been. No, you know what? I don't think there's ever been a game that was like head and shoulders above anything else. You know, probably like Super Mario Kart was like 45 quid. I was never one to really buy, you know, some daft game. I mean, I bought, the one game that I bought and I sold it and I regret it was Protector on the Pro Protector? Protector? Yeah, it's Protector it's called, I think. Yeah, on the not on the SNES, on the Vectrex. It's basically, it's, what do you call it? It's Defender on the Vectrex, and it's absolutely awesome. It's an amazing, amazing game. And there was only, I think, 100 released, and I bought one of them. But I don't think I paid that much for it. I think I maybe paid 30 quid for it. And a few years later, I was needing money and I sold it for like 150 quid. But no, I don't think, I've never been one to go out and spend a lot of money in a game. So probably, it would have probably been a SNES game, because I think they were more expensive than Amiga games. I need to batter on here. Bruce, the CIS White Moose, great waffle as always. Thank you, Bruce. Bangkok Ian, knew you would love Half-Life Alex, mate. Give a VR game called Boneworks a try next. There's also a great looking VR game called Phantom Covert Ops that is released on the 25th of June that I'm definitely buying. Star Wars Battle Pod and Coin Ops next is located in the Ring Edge pack or something. It's a must play with the best graphics. I managed to acquire it, Ian, and it's awesome. Basically, Star Wars Battle Pod, it was an arcade game released about 4 years ago, and it's now running on a PC, and it runs beautifully. Absolutely wicked. So if you've got a good PC, go and check it out. I need to really be quick. Ox, I agree with Elite Dangerous remarks. It looks like a very pretty load of wank. The idea of flying around some procedural star systems and doing bugger all for most of the time bores me to tears. Now, there were a few replies to that, which I'm not going to read out. Right, I don't think I'm going to get through all this, actually. Milfy Swinbuckle, question for next Waffle. With virtual reality about to kick off and start up a new genre of gaming, do you think that the first games produced for it will have the same kind of nostalgia for the younglings when they too become old and haggard, like those old early 1970s and early 1980s arcade games had for us? Or do you think the nostalgia ship will sink when our generation dies out and the new generation will only look at faster, bigger and better? I think the second. I'll go with the last comment you made there, Milfy. I don't think kids will really have nostalgia. Nostalgia for me, it's not so much about the games, it's about the systems and that. And because it's all in the cloud and that kind of stuff, it's like generic. I don't think kids are going to have the nostalgia the same as we're going to have. Sorry, I'm just conscious. I'm just Colin Jones. Waffle question. Oh, Colin's got a few. He's got two here. Do you plan on doing any more quick reviews, or do you think that horse has bolted? Oh, you mean the Main Meister minimalistic reviews? Absolutely not. I love them to bits. I'll need to get one done, so stand by. And if you don't know what it is, it's basically a review in about 3 seconds. Have you seen or heard of AntStream? Do you think it has any value for someone who knows how to use emulators? Yeah, AntStream. I noticed an advert on the back of Zap 64 Annual, which I've been reading, and it's like you pay £9.99 a month to play some retro games, Mega Drive games. Nah, I'm sorry. It might be legitimate, but you know what? Who is going to do that? Right, Lacozer has put a big spiel about how to put gaming back in track. I'm not got time to read it out. And, I don't know if I've got any. Let's see. Yoldy Gamer Steve, great waffling, mate. I won't lie, I am intensely jealous of your VR kit. VR does interest me, but it's vastly out of my budget, even PSVR. So all I can do is stand and watch others like a kid looking through a toy shop window at Christmas. Oh, bless you, Steve. I hope, it is good. I mean, there are cheaper ways to get into it. Yeah, I mean, I managed to afford it because I sold stuff, but hopefully when you know, I'll do some videos that will kind of give you a bit of a laugh anyway. And the very, very last one I've got about a minute and 8 seconds. Del Boy 3K1. So sorry I missed the stream. I am a key worker and boy, would I have to have had a lot to say. Oculus, probably the future, and it's standalone in a way, coming in 64 gig and 128 models, so download and play with no connection, great. Possibly being standalone as like an old cartridge experience with obvious streaming, but standalone, yeah, in a sort of way. Forza, issue with this, it would have been patches, yes, but mostly it's content, and the longer you leave it, the longer you wait, so technically not bugs, but a bugbear all the same. Yeah, I was basically going on about just how much old modern gaming can be annoying. Anyway, listen guys, I have got 28 seconds to go, so sorry for the rush waffle. Thanks as always for all your continued support. Please continue to watch my channel. I wouldn't do it without you guys. And finally guys, have an ace weekend. Thank you very, very much for watching.